Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again. We got a couple matchups here against my man Tim, who wanted to run some starter deck 10 spice just like I was, and he's running the Eustace Captain Kid. Very cool leader, but probably just not as strong as the Red Purple Law or Red Purple Luffy. But the ability nonetheless is pretty interesting. I really like that it is a multicolored 5-life leader. And yeah, he actually has like a pretty interesting list. We have some fun games here, and I'm still running that film package that we were trying out. I saw on Eggman's tournament, and I just wanted to I kind of like built off of memory and went with certain cards that I had, but also, you know, some different cards that were not per se in the list that was ran on the tournament. But it was a lot of fun, and we get Beppo down on turn 1, and he gets the Black Maria blocker. Beppo does KO a 2,000 power, or no, excuse me, I think it's a 3,000 power or less for 2 Dawn added, and that will get rid of this Black Maria. I didn't really have a turn 3 or 4 play. Well, actually, we have a turn 4 play, but I didn't really have a turn 3 play, so I figured I would just go as heavy as possible on getting rid of the blocker and then just trying to get like life down a little bit. But he does use the lead performer disaster to ramp up 1 Dawn, and he gets an active Dawn with this as well. We'll swing 5, KOing the Black Maria here. He does counter out with Beppo though, and now I'll just attach a Dawn and swing 7. And he does guard point this, staying at the 4 life. Now, this is pretty interesting because Eustace Captain Kid is oh yeah, he was he was fist bumping me because he was like, oh my god, somebody's actually running that Uta card. But Eustace Captain Kid's ability is your turn. If you have 4 or more life cards, this leader has minus 1,000 power. So on his turn, he's actually at a what is it? He's actually at 4k, and now with that Captain Kid being brought down, he does go up to 5 and swings into my Beppo. But that's a big part of the reason why he isn't swinging into lead, because he can't get there. Just being down so much, he would have to use the other leader effect, which is the Dawn -1. Leader gains plus 2,000 this turn to go up to 6 and swing into my life. But I'll play Kid and go Dawn -1 to go to 7. I'll swing 7 into his 6 here, and he does 2k counter out. We both have Captain Kid on the board, which is nice. And it is a little scary to deal with, you know, your opponent having one if they're able to get a blocker down. It's a very sticky card because of the 8k stat line, but just a really large swing here. So since he's at 4, this will be a 7k swing into my 7k leader, and I do choose to counter out with Beppo though. Just getting the Beppo out of hand, it's pretty much useless for the rest of the game other than the 2k counter. And now we'll see a Law coming down to provide a little bit of defense. He chooses not to swing with Kid here. Didn't really want the plus 1k, but I'll use leader ability to get up to the 9 Dawn, and I will go ahead and put down another Kid though, using the on play to get up to 7. And I think I might actually, I could be wrong, but I think I might actually not swing with my Kid as well. And I just choose to go 7 into life. And yeah, I think we just go 7 to life here. Getting him down to, yeah, getting him down to 3. But he uses guard point as again to stay at 4, which I thought was very interesting. I was like, wow, if he's gonna stay at 4, this means that his leader is down, you know, 1k power each turn. But I know that he's aware this deck can get really scary once we get to that top end Dawn, like, you know, Dawn level. And I see that he does have Kaido in hand. Kaido isn't really going to do him too much here. He could swing into life potentially with it, but it's really not going to, you know, he's going to KO the Buena Festa if anything. But he might just go really large here. and swing heavy into lead. So I think he's attaching 6 Dawn, 6 Dawn will be a 10k swing to life, and I do choose to take it. And now he'll just play Beppo and pass it over. Not swinging with the kid yet again. He doesn't want me to swing into anywhere other than life. But now, with us having 2 of the 7 costs on board, I think that we're definitely going to be seeing... Yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing multiple swings this turn. We'll be able to use the wire effect as well. So Dawn -1, bringing leader up to 7, and wire effect, choosing a card to trash. I'll just get rid of one of the Gum Jet Gattlings. He's now in that 3 life range where he is a regular 5k leader on his own turn. I'll go 8 yet again, bringing leader up to 8 as well. And then I can just use the leader effect here. I might have used it actually at the beginning. I was not paying attention too much here. But with the with Uta in hand, Uta is an option. But I will just go another Captain Kid. And, oh, I see. I used the leader effect before doing this. Yes, leader effect to Dawn -1. So that way I would still stay at 8 Dawn for the next turn, going back up to 10. And now leader is at 9k power. Having 3 kids on board is just... That's scary. That is terrifying. 9k power is not where you want to be in this matchup. You're like, uh-oh, I'm in danger. Especially having 1 Dawn active. So if he tries to, you know, play Kaido and swing into one of the Captain Kids, it's more than likely going to be defended pretty easily with like a guard point or something. Yep. So we will see 9, and he is going to KO the wire. And I actually make a mistake here. As I said, once per turn, you can use the card. And then I realized that I was making a mistake. It's whenever your Dawn is returned, not your opponent's Dawn. So I put the card back on the top. You know, we're obviously just playing some games for fun. But yeah, I made a mistake on the wire right there. I thought that it was whenever a Dawn was returned, it has to specifically be your Dawn. Yeah, and then it also wasn't even relevant because when he played Kaido, it would KO the wire anyways. So I was like, oh yeah, it's not even relevant. You are KOing the card, so we're just laughing about it. But yeah, me and Tim have a good time. You know, we're just we're joking around, and we're just kind of figuring things out. You know, enjoying testing out some of the lists. He does use the Dawn -1 effect here to go up plus 2k. So this does bring him up to an 8k swinging into Captain Kid. And then he's also going to have an a 10k being swung into Captain Kid. I don't really have a lot of counter power in hand. I've got a Shanks. I've also got, yeah, the Uta that we use the Gum Jet Gatling. And he does just swing the Beppo, though, to ramp right here. And, yeah, the small misplay on my part with the wire. But, you know, yet again, we're just having learning moments here. It's a lot of fun to kind of testing out some of the decks and some of the different cards. And, you know, I'd rather learn from these specific moments than make a mistake in, like, a very large tournament and have someone be upset because of, you know, something so unintentional and not really realizing how the card should be played. But he does take the life here, picking up the Kaido. I am just going to go 9 again to life, doing the Dawn -1, going up to 8. He is going to counter out of this, going to 10 though. And now, with 8 Dawn, I actually ramp 1 using leader ability. And I think I decide to play Shanks here. We could just go 8 to life and then play Shanks and swing 10, which or are we at only... Oh no, excuse me, I've attached those 2 Dawns, so we're actually only at 7 Dawn left. That's right. Yeah. And so I was just explaining to him like how I was getting back up to adding a Dawn from using the 2 Eustace Captain Kid abilities and then attaching. So this will have our leader at 10. We swing into Captain Kid. We do get it off the board, and then I'll just play Law for 4 and pass it over. I couldn't get that Shanks down because I had attached 1 to kids. That is correct. Yeah, Shanks would have been real cool though. But now Kaido is staring me down at an 8k stat line for lead, 2 Captain Kids, as well as the Trafalgar Law blocker. It's pretty annoying, but with 2 cards in hand, I am deciding whether I just want to let this go or not. He's only got a few Dawn because of that massive Kaido play. Using leader effect as well in the same turn did bring him down quite a bit. So I'm expecting that I'm only really going to see like a blocker or something. It's not going to be too much. But Beppo does ramp him up back 1, but I don't think it's going to save him the following turn. He has to defend. Yep. So we'll just see the Law. And now we'll see a 7k with the Dawn -1 going up to 9. And I will counter out of that when he swings into Kid here. But going back over to our turn, we got to get through 1 blocker, but we have 3 swings. We are more than good here. First round looks like it's going to go to us pretty handedly. Still having Shanks in hand, though. I kind of want to use it, you know. It's always good when I can get the Shanks down. And I will use the Dawn -1 to get up +1. And yet again, just keep swinging 8 with Kid. Doing the same thing, going up +2. And now he will block this attack, and I'll rest 9. Yeah, and I'll go 10 with Shanks and then 8 with lead, knowing that he wouldn't be able to get out of that. But solid first match all around. I think it's really cool to, you know, see some of the new cards and get some of the effects in. But we do play a second match, and I think that the big deciding factor for me that game was having 3 of the 7-cost kids on board. I mean, that is just... How do you deal with that? That is just crazy. And, you know, I think he was able to get 1 or 2 himself, but it just wasn't able to... He wasn't able to do as much as I was with that card. Now, we unfortunately have the odd curve again, and this is hilarious. So, in this match... And in another match, I drew this exact same hand with Buena Festa and whiffed. And I just realized, how in the world did I see the exact same search with Buena Festa twice in one day? And so I was a little upset and I put it down to the bottom of the deck. But we're just going to swing 6 here. More than likely just playing Wire. Yeah, Wire for 3. Passing it over. He did like to stay at this 4 life level quite a bit, which was surprising. Yeah, he stayed at 4 life and defended it pretty hard in a lot of our matches, but does use lead performer disaster to ramp up 1 here and just passes it over. I don't think that we drew into our own lead performer, but maybe I'm wrong. That card is just so useful in this ramp, you know, ramp style here. And I'll just go ahead and get Guild to Sorrow down. I want this card with combination of Wire because it just allows me to get so much cycle and so much card draw into the deck. But he does run Brachio Bomber, which ramps him up a Dawn and KOs a 6-cost or less. And I was like, what in the actual world are you doing? And I was like, all right, that I did not expect. But he uses Leader Effect here. And Leader Effect does bring him up to 6k, and he'll just swing to life. I'm considering whether I want to take. I do choose to take, and he'll play Black Maria for 2, passing it over. We do draw into another Uta, but it never felt like in any of my matches that Uta was like the perfect card to play on certain turns. It just felt, it honestly felt kind of weird on certain turns, but... It's like if you draw that into the late game while you have a board built already, I feel like the card is just so unbelievably good. But until then, it's like, you know, it's not the worst. And I do use the Wire effect here, trashing the Gum Gum Jet Gatling and passing it over. Shout out to homie in the chat from yesterday, by the way, or in the comments yesterday. I actually was not aware that Wire was a mandatory effect. I did not know that. And so I learned that yesterday, and I also just messed up. He put down Newgate, and I left Wire. I should have definitely blocked right there. I think I was just prioritizing getting the Wire effect too much versus just blocking with it and saving the life now that he has a Newgate on board. But you live and you learn. Can't always make the right decision. Actually, you can, but when you're me, you definitely can't. And now I will just play down Law. I told him to shuffle them cards up so that I could get 2 out of hand and get back in this match a little bit. I'll just take these 2. I end up getting Jean Bart and a Beppo right there. And with Wire Effect, I do get to draw a card and then trash another. I'm just taking a look at my Dawn count, though, just to make sure that what I'm trashing is going to be something that I'm not sweating too hard over. It does look like we have the 4-cost event in hand. I feel like I should be trashing that right here, like for sure. But I choose to trash the Uta instead. Oh, I'm not sure if I have it. It just looked very close. Swing with lead, and oh, interesting. I think I actually might just play this card to get another card cycle in hand. So I am just going to go 8 into life, and I'll use the Dawn -1 effect. I think this brings us down to 7 Dawn here, but we'll be able to use that to ramp 1 and then also draw a card. And then I can use leader effect to ramp 1 more as well. Attach 1, and I will just go ahead and swing 8 into the life. More okay, I was about to say might block this, but yeah, it was a miss counter right there. Since he was at 7, he tried to use the 1k counter, but oh, I think we used leader ability at the beginning of last turn. That's right. That's why we didn't ramp at the very end. But leaving 1 active just for like Radical Beam or Guard Point or something, I know that this is a nuisance. He does kill my Wire here. It's pretty annoying because I should have just blocked with that the turn prior, you know, not to give him the value, but a little bit of a mistake on my part. Radical Beam could be used, but I do just choose to block with Law here. We've got him down to 2 life, so I'm not sweating it too hard if he goes really big into the kid, because I can just defend this pretty easily. He's going to attach 5, which brings him up to 10, but he will use the Dawn -1 to go to 12. Definitely going to have to Radical Beam. So Radical Beam to 12, and then a 2k out to get up to 14. Leaving him with 3 left, he does play the Wire and just passes it over. I feel like playing the Wire before you use the leader effect maybe could have cycled out the hand a little bit, but if he's happy with his, you know, the contents in his hand, then I'm sure it's just fine. But this is a bit of a scary turn because we can't go for game. We do have to defend ourselves to some degree. He has a blocker. I'd really like to get both life if possible. Oh, wow. Okay. I'll swing 8k into lead, going up to 7, playing Luffy. I don't like this. I think I should have just blockered up. I think I have an Uta in hand. I think we just give him game the turn after. He does take this. I'll go 7 to life. It's a pretty easy counter, 2k and a 1k, and yep. And now we'll see an 11 into Newgate, which doesn't really help me. I think 11 into life he takes, but 11 into Newgate was kind of hoping that he would just, for some reason, block. Like, if he didn't have the 2k in hand, he would block, and then we would be able to get either the Black Maria or the Wire. More than likely the Wire here. I think I was taking a bit of a gamble, and I do use the leader effect to reactivate the 1, though. And he goes 10 into life. We're at 7. I don't have a blocker on field. We kind of have to defend this with how much Dawn he has left. This is awkward. This is awkward. I don't know why I played the Luffy. I feel like I definitely should have blockered up. And I'll play Guard Point as well as the Uta to counter out to 11k here. But he just attaches a couple to lead. Yeah, attaches 2 to lead. Doing the Dawn -1, this is going to be a 9k into a 7k. This brings up heat to a 6k power as well. And I am forced to take it, unfortunately. And He's going to attach the rest to heat, and we are only able to get up to, I think it was like 11,000 or maybe 12,000, but he was swinging 13k into life. We take the L on the second game, but super fun matches, just trying out some of the new leaders. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, all right? Peace.